Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Old Mountain Bricks. Today we've got another Lego City update here for you. We're going to be taking a look at placing the fire brigade, which we just built in our last video, so check that one out. But we're also going to make a few improvements and just kind of see what we're able to get into. But let's go ahead and jump into it. I fired up the train just a few minutes ago here, and we had a travesty strike. I wish I had the camera rolling, of course, but it went off the back corner over here, so we got a little distracted already. But we were able to put it back together. I'm only missing, I think, one piece I couldn't find, which was like this little black clip, which I'm sure is under the table somewhere, but we weren't able to find it. So what we've just done in the meantime, we received some new pieces, which are these bad boys right here, the 1x2 dark bluish gray normal plate. And those are important because it helps to connect our road plates. And I thought I ordered these a while back, but they just arrived. So they were on my list to get some more. So I'm glad they actually showed up. They go right here, if you can see it. Like on this one, we use these modified Technic bricks with the holes. So when we connect the road, it blends in with the other brick. Like here's another example where it has that black one versus the light gray. So I went ahead and did this one. I was on a phone call earlier and took out a few of these plates just in the main section right here, so we can go ahead and do that. So now everything is blending in and looking good. So now our cars are everywhere because that's just the progress of how things go. We got to keep expanding the roads and doing the sidewalks, so we're going to definitely do a little bit of that. I won't try and bore you too much with it or anything, but the other thing we need to do is place the fire brigade. The first spot I've put it in is down at the end of this main street, I guess we're going to call it for now, because it's just an iconic building I want to be seen. As we had the issue with the detective office in one of our last Lego City updates, it is a straight building, meaning there's only a few spots available in the Lego City for a straight building at the moment. At the end of the Parisian restaurant and the pet office in the Brittle Brown condo needs to be a corner building. So on both of those, so that eliminates that. Same on the end of the detective's office. The only straight building we have open would be behind the Avengers Tower, which I don't really want to do right yet until I maybe do some major rearranging at that point. So, where does that leave us? This whole back row is going to be straight modular buildings, at least for the moment. My first option is putting it right down there, and I think, again, it's iconic. It blends in well. You can see kind of with Craggle Town Hall sitting right here, so I think it just looks nice. I'm going to move it next to the Avengers Tower just to see what it looks like, but I think that's going to be the spot. It's the first one I put it in, but we'll see what happens. As we come around the back of the Lego City, you can kind of get another view of it. See the fire brigade sitting back here. Looks pretty good looking down this street. Of course, once we have some more sidewalks, we'll need to make some sort of pull-in built into the sidewalk in order for that to work properly. So wherever we put this, we've got to make adjustments to our sidewalk to make that happen so the fire truck can get across. And here's the back of it. A little closer look at the gold bell there. And of course, on this part of the Lego City, we have our handy-dandy brick stick, as made famous in our last video. So I'm sure we're going to be using that one to do some more here. But you can see again, we've got the back of the Daily Bugle hanging out here. Mr. Incredible, of course, visiting the Daily Bugle and a few other details. Okay, we've got it slid in just like that. Hopefully all the stuff doesn't go flying here. So we need to move that base plate out of the way. And we'll slide it into spot with the brick stick. Okay, so it doesn't look too bad right there, actually. So let's kind of move back to this side so we can get a little better view. Yeah, it kind of fits nice, actually. You look at it from this angle, because there's enough room between the Avengers Tower and the fire brigade that it's not causing any sort of issue. Because eventually we will need to put a building there. I was looking back at the last video, and I kind of like the detective's office over there too, so we could kind of rearrange that, but I like how it kind of blends in with the sanctum, with that, with those nougat masonry bricks. We'll see. Let's go back around front and see what it looks like from that side. Okay, so here is the fire brigade next to the Avengers Tower, and honestly, I don't mind it. Doesn't look too bad. You get a good view of it kind of coming down here because it's pretty tall with that little bell tower up top there. So as you walk through the Lego City, you can see it pretty good. It's not blocked really by anything, especially at like a view like this when you're first coming in. It's hard to kind of see on the camera, but you get the idea. You can see it over top the other modular buildings, so it does still have some prominence. So that's when we get into a tough spot. It's hard to decide because I haven't really moved too much around since I've been placing modular buildings. So I don't know if this is the time to do it in order to kind of put it in a more prominent spot. I don't know. I kind of liked it at the end of the street because it's iconic enough that, like, if you put like the pet shop down there, it's just not going to look as good at the end of the street. But we're going to have a couple opportunities for that. That's where we put the Daily Bugle where it is because I wanted it to have kind of that prominence. Let me think about it. Let's work on something else and then we'll come back to the fire brigade. So we've got our only four-way intersection in the city over here. I think we'll give that a go. Right now it kind of goes over to the train track, so it's kind of an unofficial one, but still technically is one. So we're going to see if we can get this fixed up. Maybe add some street lamps, just the mini ones that come with the road plates for now. Maybe trying to fix this up and get that out of there and see what we can get figured out. So the problem I've run into with doing it the normal way is the lines don't really line up with the extenders. So I think the right way to do it would actually be to keep this part gray and only start it basically right there. So move it by like one stud, I think is the correct phrasing there. So let's see if we can rebuild that and make it look right. Okay, so we don't have enough white plate in like the 1x2 or even 1x1s or 1x3s in order to kind of finish this off. But I want to take it back over. I don't know if we really need these lines going toward the train tracks because there's, I mean, one, it's imaginary, and two, does it really make sense? So let's see. Okay, so we're putting it back in spot just to kind of get an idea of what the lines will look like back in spot here. Obviously, I didn't push everything all the way together here because I need to be able to get it back out. Depends on what I do right here. So, if I just have some sort of vegetation here, next to the sidewalk like I'm kind of planning, it might not make sense. But I like the detail of it. Like I said, we just haven't got to this part yet because any other place we have the crosswalk, we are going to have that white line. Like down here, for example. You can see it has kind of like the fake curve. So it does make sense for that to be there. Okay, so I've just done the temporary swap for now because I just need some more white plate in order to do that. But that one's going to make more sense. So let me know in the comments below if you think that this should be gray or if I should keep the white line there going toward the train tracks or not. So let's go ahead and at least do like the sidewalk area and kind of see what that looks like now. I don't think the time lapse went on the last one, but you can see we've got it tiled off here. We've added some more speed bumps. So let's go ahead and take it back over to the Lego City, kind of see what it looks like. I've left these poles in here for now. This is the only one I had built, but we'll decide if we want to actually build those later, but I want to at least have them as placeholders for now. I went ahead and took this plate out just because it's easier to get in there, and it's probably going to be one of our next road plates that we do. But I think this looks pretty good. You can see kind of what I was talking about with how the line goes to nowhere. This needs to go back in here like that. So it doesn't really make sense to have that stop line there because of the crosswalk. And the more I look at it, the more I feel like we should also have another crosswalk right here and right here. Because other than that, you have to go all the way to the end of the street right there to cross. Or eventually you'll go all the way down here to cross. So it kind of makes sense to have one to get right here, which means I'll need to pull out the plate again, find some more crosswalk plates, and redo kind of this section here. But I don't know if I want to do that. I kind of like it as it is. At least I'll leave it for now because, again, I can change it later if I think it really matters. But I think it looks pretty good. I think it's really kind of tying it together here. This part's going to be interesting to try and fix because it's now off by 1 plate. I can, of course, raise this part up here. This little curved part's not going to really make much sense if we do that. To kind of keep it the same going on both sides, because I don't think I can raise this up anymore. It's already up 2 plates. I think if I bring it up 1 more plate, at least on this side, it might cause issues. I'd have to check. All right, brought this over to the desk. Let's see if we can get this kind of cleaned up that goes in front of the Avengers Tower. Okay, and you can see the amount of progress we've made is minimal. That is because I don't have any more of the white plate, like the issue we were having earlier, and I don't have any 1 by dark bluish gray brick, so I can't fill it in if I do it kind of by this method. So this is just at a standstill. And we can revisit this once we order more parts next time there's a good GWP or double points. So I think we might do something drastic here. I need some of these base plates in order to start completing the roads, and a lot of them are just kind of sitting here doing nothing right now. Especially these blue ones. I have these official Lego brand base plates, but I would like to use those for the actual water when the time comes, and we can redo the whole beach with some extra plate and some transparent elements and some waves and all of that. Because right now I think I need about 5 base plates, and I only have approximately 2 base plates. I either rip some of this out in order to get some of the base plates so I can replace it with the blue, or I just kind of do the 2 that I have for now, and we can come back to it another time. When I bought a bunch of these road plates a while back, I never thought that I'd actually run out of them. I was like, this is gonna be plenty. But for what I'm doing, it just seems like it isn't enough sometimes. We can't really move forward with this either because I need more crosswalks in order for it to make sense on that part of the city that I was trying to do, so can't really do much there either. Because there's a crosswalk built in right there. There's going to be 1 more straight after that. I might be able to at least do that for now. There needs to be a crosswalk on both sides of that, like it is right here. See, with the 2. We don't have the ability to do that for the curve. And then I want one on each end of the street. Meaning, so you see like right there at the T intersection, there should be one kind of near Mr. Incredible right there on this side. And then basically whatever modular building goes right there. We were at least able to get this 1 plate halfway there. You know, it doesn't have the extenders or anything, but that's the one that we were needing to do a while back anyway. So when the time comes, that one will at least be ready. So we'll just kind of slide that back into spot for now. But we won't attach anything else to it while we're waiting on some other pieces there. But overall, I think things are starting to come together. I think I've decided we're going to move the fire brigade back to the end of the street. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, I've done something risky back here. I've clipped the fire brigade in to this part of the railroad track. The reason I did this is to hopefully have some sort of alignment going down the road here. Otherwise, things get off just a little bit, and we don't want it to get misaligned too much. Of course, the other thing we need to do while we're back here is update the lamppost to the yellow light. So let me grab that. Okay, let me just pop that guy off, pop the clear head off, put the yellow one on, put the little shade thing back on, and then we'll pop that back into place out front. And then we'll put, of course, the clear one out around back here. Okay, and I think it looks pretty good. So let's see if we can stand our other 2 firefighters back up here, at least in the meantime. Like I said, we don't have the parts to do the road extension yet, but what we're going to do is see where that yellow line is. We're going to extend that and the gray all the way across the sidewalk so it meets the road. But we'll deal with that eventually. And I think that's looking pretty good for right now. Let's go back out front. And there we have the fire brigade at the end of the street. I think it looks pretty good down there, especially once we get some more roads and more details heading out that way. But for now, we'll go ahead and put some of these folks back in place. So I guess we've hit kind of a roadblock today. And sometimes that happens with Lego. You can't just build everything all in one day. There's always price restrictions, part restrictions. There's all kinds of things that kind of limit what you're able to do on a budget. And that's something I'm wanting to bring for the channel here, that you can't always have everything. So one step at a time, one day at a time, and that's okay sometimes. So what we can do today, besides just a couple things with the roads, we can place a couple of the vehicles that we've been meaning to place in the Lego City from some of our other videos. Make sure you check those out if you haven't already. But let's go ahead and pick those up and see where we can put them in the city. First one, we've got Johnny Thunder hanging out over here in the middle of the ocean with his scorpion tracker. Just a fun little adventurers build. I hope to add a few more things from the adventurers series that I have kind of parted out. So I think for now, the best place for him is actually going to be somewhere in the campground area. Let's see if we can just kind of roll him in. Seems like his kind of people. Maybe the beach area, because this is from the desert set. Of course, it kind of blends in with all that tan. So I could just kind of pop it right here, but I think it'll be fun just to put him somewhere over right here for now, hanging out with everybody. Maybe over here. Actually, yeah, let's just kind of slide him back past Hocus Pocus there. You know, let's put the scorpion tracker up here. One day I just want to make a tiny little house here, because this is just one of the OG base plates that I've had in my collection with the raised stuff that I remember having as a child there. Since he kind of fits that description, we'll have him just hanging out at this vacant lot for right now, next to the Sanderson Sister Cottage and the A-frame cabin. The other one we have is the Ice Cream Bandit truck thing. I already forgot what it's called. Make sure you check out that video as well, with the police officer and the ice cream crooks and everything. I think we're gonna put them rolling down this long street over here that we don't have much going on with yet. So let's see if we can find a nice place down this way. Okay, so you can see our ice cream truck bandits pulling the ATM machine, chased by the police officer, heading down this way to currently a dead end, but one day it'll be there. But I think that looks good for now. So let's take the taxi from the Daily Bugle and try and get it back over there. And getting them back in place right there. You can also see the ice cream truck from over this angle, but that nice pop of yellow is going to look really nice right there. And of course, one day we will make the brick bank that we've been promising for a while. Just other modular buildings just keep popping up that kind of jump in line. But I think it's probably going to go right about here when the time comes. Who knows? We're looking forward to having another corner building and starting to complete one of the blocks. But I think our Lego city's looking pretty good. Of course, we need more parts, more pieces, and more time, more money, as with anything these days. But I think it's coming along pretty well. The amount of detail we've added in the last few weeks is a lot. And, you know, I don't want to get it done all in one day, so I'm trying to space things out. Don't want to build all the modular buildings that I have under the table right away. You know, we want to space things out and slowly build up the city. And that way we can avoid things like this. But I think that's going to do it for today here. We got the fire brigade placed, we placed a few vehicles in the city, we upgraded some of the roads, and then improved some just overall details for the city. But I appreciate you coming by Old Mountain Bricks today. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the progress of the city down in the comments down below, or something we should add, or something we should improve. But until next time, thanks for coming by Old Mountain Bricks today. Have a good one.